on-point stitcher. Welcome to my channel. This is Flosstube 22 and probably take 22 as well. I was actually on a pretty good roll just a few minutes ago, and then my daughter's ride showed up and she was yelling up at the stairs at me, goodbye, goodbye. And I thought about leaving it in, but I was laughing and it was so distracting that I was like, probably. It's like they're not going to know why I'm laughing. So, welcome. I'm glad you're here. It's been a day. It's been a month. And we're here. And I'm here to tell you all about it and share with you. So, August has been crazy. I had a lot of migraines in August, strangely enough. And I think it was just I had a lot going on. I was stressed out. I started a new job and my kids went back to school and there was a lot going on. And then the kids brought home some kind of funk. And I was very, very sick the beginning of this month. So, yeah, it's been fun. But thank you for being here. If you're returning, I'm so glad you're here to catch up with my shenanigans again. And if you are new, I'm sorry. No, if you're new, thanks for being here. And let's go ahead and talk about some stitching. For the month of August, I got 9,546 stitches in. Woohoo! And those are just the stitches that I can count on Pattern Keeper. So that's not including the stitches that I put into Day Fairy. There's no way of me actually counting her stitches because sometimes I mess up and have to frog and then have to remember what I've stitched and what I haven't stitched, because if I've stitched it, I've marked it off on the paper pattern and then I may have had to frog it and remark it. There's no way of knowing. So somewhere around 10,000 stitches for the month. We'll just go with that. I'll take it. Let's catch up with what Nona has been working on. Nona is my mom. She lives in California with her mom, my grandmother, and she is a huge cross stitcher. She is the one that taught me how to cross stitch all the big things. My grandmother taught me how to cross stitch when I was little, and my mom helped me perfect it. And yeah, she's the cross stitcher in my life that I love to sit and talk about cross stitch and do cross stitch with and all the things. And so, Nona's progress. She's working on He Is Risen with several of us. We started this in Easter. This is started by Heaven and Earth Designs by Donna Gelsinger. I'm doing the mini as well as Nona is doing the mini. This is her first Heaven and Earth design. It's her first, well, it's not her first full coverage because there's lots of other things that she does that she didn't realize was full coverage. There's some like dimension kits and all kinds of things. But anyway, so this is her first Haid though. And this month, she just pushed. She finished all of the top pages, so she's all the way across now, and she is so done with blue for a little while. She really wanted to get across the top before she put it down, and so I will figure out what percentage she is at, because I'm sure I could pull it up in Pattern Keeper and figure it out, but she's actually working from a paper pattern, so she just prefers and I've tried to introduce her to Pattern Keeper, but I haven't had the time to actually like just sit down and teach her. So hopefully while she is here visiting me in November, I can get her a Christmas present, get her a small Android tablet, and get her Pattern Keeper and teach her how to use it. That would be so cool. Anyway, so she's all done with those pages, and she has now moved on to working on my sister-in-law's stocking. Her name is Haley, and my mom is working on a cute little stocking that has all these little like cherub angels on them. They're really cute. She got the pattern, well, not the pattern, she got the kit off of like eBay or something like that, maybe, yeah. And the stitcher that sold it to her had told her that it hadn't been started or anything like that, but it had. And I think the reason that that stitcher actually put it down and put it away is because she had the fabric oriented this way instead of this way. And so, yeah, that'll put a cog in your wheel. So, so she did have to frog and start that over, but I think she just has some back stitching and a few other things. I don't think she'll be too much longer on that one. And then we have a start coming up this month. I'll go ahead and chat about that since it does include Nona. But we are starting, we as in Nona, myself, and Angie from Angie Slowly Crafts, we are going to be starting this lantern from the Just Cross Stitch number 26. But if you don't get the magazine, you can get the PDF copy online. So we're going to be starting that, and I think she's going to be doing hers on 16 count. I know it's oatmeal Ada. I just can't, I think it's 16 count. I don't think it's going to be 14. She didn't want to go that big. And I will be using this very interesting fabric that I got from Hobby Lobby. It's got like all these little like speckles and stuff in there. But this is actually embroidery cotton. It reminds me a lot of Hardanger, but it looks like if I do it over 2, I think it will be like a 16 count, and it is an even weave, so I think as long as I work on this in like a hoop or something like that, I think it'll be just fine. So I know that's usually like plans and towards the end, but I thought I'd just go ahead and tell you about that. And we are planning on starting that the first day of fall. That's going to be September 22nd. I have my notes and things in front of me, that's why I keep on looking down. But we're going to be starting that September 22nd, and I am planning on working on that for 8 days. So that entire week, that's Sunday through Saturday, and then one last day on the 30th of September. And I don't think this is feasible, but it'd be really cool if I could do a start and finish. I don't know if I can do that. That is asking a lot, because this is not like, this isn't a tiny pattern. Like that's a pretty big piece, but I don't know. Let's see how far I can get. Go ahead and place your votes down in the bottom. Let me know if you think I can get all that done. I feel like I'm like at a horse race or something. Okay. Oh, sorry, I am sniffly from being sick. Next is progress on my things. So, as I said, we're working on He Is Risen. I work on He Is Risen the first week of every month. I don't have progress from August to show you because I showed it to you last month of where I was. So I'll just insert a picture of where you saw it last, and I had gotten to a page finish. So I worked on that for 3 days, and for August, there were only 3 days on the first week of August, but it got 976 stitches, and it is now at 11.05%. On to the next project after working on He Is Risen was Day Fairy, And this is another stitch along. This is the Sunday Fairy Sal, and it was the Sunday night Fairy Sal, which here's the night, and I have completed her. But we're now on, well, me, I'm now on the Day Fairy with Diana. Diane from Frog Fudge. So I am working this one, and I have I'm having memory issues because I'm tired, so I apologize. I'm working this one on 28 count. Some of them are 1/2, and some of them are 2/2. It's all full cross, and this is where I'm at, and it's really big, but it's gonna be gorgeous. I love the autumnal colors. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. So the plan is to get this wing, all this part of it. This is all complete. This is all done. So now I have from this section of the wing on down to complete. So that is the plan, to get that wing finished during the month of September. I don't have very many days to work on that during the month of September, but we shall see if I can get that wing completed. I don't have a plan for a finished date on that one, just whenever I get it done working on that on Sundays. And that is an open salve to anyone. If you're working on any kind of fairy, go ahead and join us. You don't have to work on it on Sunday. We were working on all those things, and I do mine on Sunday, but if you can't do Sunday, that's okay. Stitch with us and use the hashtag. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Use the hashtag, and that way we can see what you're working on. Next, sorry, excuse me, is going to be Walk as One. You guys know this one. This is by, this is the stocking version. This is by Jody Bergsma, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. I'm working on this one on 25 count Lugana, 1/1 full cross. Oh, it's way over there. The bag fell over. Sorry about that. So this one got a total of 6 days, 1,723 stitches. At 80.11%, I got half a page done. So here I am on this one, and I completed this guy's leg and his paw, the bottom of his paw there, and this is the bottom of the page here. So this is the page, and I'm hoping to get to a page finish on this one in the month of September. I think I can do it. These colors aren't too white, so they're a little easier to see. It's these ones that gets difficult to see, but not too bad. I'm pretty happy with this one, and if I push hard enough, I might be able to get to a finish by Christmas. That would be really nice to be able to give my husband this for Christmas. And it might actually become a daily 30 in order to make that happen. I haven't done a daily 30 in a very long time, but I was thinking about it this morning, and I actually did a daily 30 this morning, and I was like, I already have my alarm set to go off way earlier than I need it to go off, and I'm not getting up. I'm not getting out of bed. I'm awake, but I'm not getting out of bed. So I really need to just get up and get out of bed and do what I have planned to do instead of ignoring it. Next is going to be Marigold, as my children lovingly call her. This is Autumn Dragon by Sheena Pike, charted by Heaven Earth Design. She is now retired. This is also a stitch along. This is the Sheena Pike Sal, and there's a lot of stitchers that are joining in on this one. If you've got a Sheena Pike, go ahead and use that hashtag so we can see what you're working on, or if you have been working on one and you just want to share your progress, go ahead and throw that on there. We'd love to see. But we've got Alicia from Adventures in Stitching, and Angie from Angie Slowly Crafts, and quite a few other Flosstubers and Instagram stitchers. So check it out. We'd love to stitch with you. Anywho, I'm trying to go kind of quickly because I'm all sniffly and I'm just not feeling great. So exciting news on this one. I finished her tail. This one is being stitched on 25 count Lugana, 2/1 full cross with DMC. I am a DMC gal. I know not everyone is, but I still really like DMC. So this is where I'm at. This is on Stormy Clouds Lugana. I think it's by Zweigart. I can't remember. But I finished her tail. It's so pretty. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what actually made it slow down is all of this stuff that you see, like the yellows and greens and everything. It's extremely confetti heavy, like to the point that it doesn't look like it, but you would do like 1 or 2 ninja stitches and then move on to another color over and over and over and over and over, to the point that what I had to do is I would choose like a color that had like a lot of block stitching, and I'd do 1 thread in that, and then I'd try to finish like a square, and then I'd come back to it. So she's looking amazing. I'm very happy with her. I can't remember if I told you the amount of stitches and everything, so I'm just gonna say it again. If I did already say it, I'm sorry. 1,077 stitches, and she's now at 41.17%. And I'm going back up to the top of her shoulder, and I'm gonna follow just under the jawline down to her belly, and I'm gonna do her belly and her other foot and all that other like confetti stuff under her, and then I'll pick a new spot. So you're gonna be seeing her belly a lot for a while, but we'll see. She's gonna probably come out, I think I have her scheduled to come out a lot in October, so maybe we'll get a lot done on her in October. Next is the Graham's Library, and I know that I have a cover sheet for it. Oh, here we go. I was about to push pause. So this is the cover sheet with all the pages. So all the page lines and everything. And I am working in the tree. And this one got 6 days. Right? No, I'm sorry. 4 days, 1,225 stitches, and is now at 6.90%. This one is being worked on 28 count easy grid Lugana, and I'm doing this 1/1 full cross with DMC. So here is that one, and I am just about done with the tree. So the page finish on this one is going to be here. See this little round section here? The page is right here. And so I'm going to be hoping to get a page finish in for the month of September. Now a little bit more about the Grand Library. I am hoping to see you with that one to come more often, doing some Stitch With Me videos. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that a little bit later. Next one is cookie delivery. This is another Sheena Pike by Heaven and Earth. And this one is another one that I'm working on Ada. It's a 16 count Ada. It's a light blue. It's called Celestial, and I think it's by Picture This Plus. But I'm working this one in hand, and I'm working on color completions as I go. It's the first extreme cross country color completions that I've ever done. I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but Sheena Pike makes it very fun to do these because she has like quite a bit of like block color in her art, and so you can just kind of keep going and not count as much as if it was just like clustered all over the place. So I'm glad I chose a Sheena Pike in order to do my first ECC. So I'm working on 819 right now. It is a very, very pale pink, and right now I'm working right in here. This is the icing on the cookie on the back of the truck, and it's just so hard to see. I'm sorry, it's getting blown out from the light, but I have this one got 6 days. It's my travel piece, so it sees a lot of stitching because I go a lot of places with my kids that I have to sit in the car and wait for them. So this piece goes in the car with me everywhere. So it got 1,937 stitches this month. It is now at 22.18%, and I only have 1,181 stitches left for the color 819, and then I'm moving on to 349. That's the next largest color. So back to like the truck, because that's a very, very bright red. So we'll see more of the pom-pom on the hat done and more of the truck when I get to that color. So the next one on the list is actually my last project, What Lies Beneath. This one, I try to get it to come out every August just because it is a wonderful way to say goodbye to summer. So I've just noticed like the last couple of years, this is really when it comes out, is in August. I did not get as much progress this year as I put into it last year because my rotation is a little different than how I was working last year. Last year I would choose like a main focus piece every month, and I would like have a goal for that piece, whether it was a page finish or so many stitches or something like that, and I work on that piece pretty much monogamously until I got to that goal, and then I would choose something else to work on that it was like sweet that I could just pick to work on for the rest of the month. And this year, or at least these last couple of months, I've really been working on like several projects a month, which is kind of not typical for me. I usually like to do like pretty much one main piece and then just some things here and there. But this is just how I'm feeling lately. So What Lies Beneath. Did I show the cover? So this is the full version. This is not the mini. This is a retired chart by Heaven and Earth Design. Dakota Detweiler, I think. Anywho, this is retired, and I had to get it because I had seen it on the site for a while, and then when the artist was being retired, I was like, I have to get this chart because my husband loves octopi, and so one day this will be hanging up in our house, and this is one of his favorites. Whenever he sees it come out, he's like, can you just work on that one for a while? I love that one. Got 7 days, 2,707 stitches. It is now at 7.10%. Last time you saw it, I had it out of the hoop, and it is in a Nerge hoop right now, and I got half a page done. This one I'm working on 28 count Lugana. Yeah, Lugana. 28 count Lugana, 1/1 full cross with DMC. And it was a lot of block color stitching. There's like, this is not ocean spray like this is, like that's filled in. This is missing stitches. I haven't done those yet. I was working a lot on like big colors, lots of color, because I was sick and not feeling well, and it was easier for me to just have like a color beside me than it was to like pick a color, do some, pick another color, do some. It was much easier to just be like, let's just block stitch. So that's all the things that I worked on. Plans, I already told you about the new start coming up. Please join if you have it. I would love to just see lanterns all over the place. I love them. So pretty. Other plans, Day Fairy will continue to come out on Sundays for this month because she's beautiful, she's autumnal, and she fits right in. And one of the things I love about working on her on Sundays is she is a stitching and hand project. And so it's very easy for me to just pick it up and do it. And because it's like 28 count over 2, it's like I'm doing the sewing method. I'm just like in a groove. I'm like, yeah, this is easy. And we do so much on Sundays that it is nice to be able to pull that project out and just relax a little bit with some stitching. What else? Cookie delivery will continue to come out as my travel stitching. I'm getting quite a bit done on that one. For my travel stitching, I have 2 absolute days that I know it's coming with me for travel and picking up kids and me sitting and working on it for at least an hour and a half for 2 days. So it's going to get at least 3 hours a week, which is great. What else? Grand Library. Okay, so remember I said I would come back to that. Grand Library, I have scheduled to come out, and I might have to change the date or the day on this, because right now I have it set to come out on Saturdays, because right now what my rotation looks like is Sundays I work on my Day Fairy, and then Mondays I work on my focus piece. Tuesdays I work on my Sheena Pike, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I work on my main focus piece again. But Fridays are my best days for videos and Stitch With Me's and things like that. So I think I might have to do another switch and do the Grand Library on Fridays. And I would like to do more Stitch With Me videos. So every Friday, I will either be doing a Flosstube or a Stitch With Me video. And I'm going to be using Grand Library to do the Stitch With Me videos probably 90% of the time, just for the sheer fact that it's a popular piece. People really love the bookshelves, and but that's because there's so much going on. There's so many different colors. There's so many different things to look at that even while you're just watching like the Stitch With Me, you're like, oh, where are we going to work on today? What are we going to see? Are we going to see something come together? Because there's so much going on. Whereas, you know, if I was to choose one of my other pieces, you might not see as much going on, or it might kind of get boring. So I'm going to try to work on that one. The only time that I will kind of switch that up is I noticed that in the areas that there is extreme, and I mean extreme confetti, it slows everything down and it's not as fun to stitch and video or watch really, because you're like, you know, you're constantly changing colors, and I'm not I don't have a setup yet where I have like lots of needles and colors already ready to go. I don't have a spot that I can do something like that. And so when those times come up, I will probably stitch those like separately or something, and then come back when there's not as much confetti, so that we can kind of keep going. Walk as One is going to make 8 days of an appearance coming up. Hopefully, we'll see. Marigold will come out. Pretty much all of the pieces that you saw today will be coming out, except for a select few. And then, of course, the new start. So those are the plans for September. I can't think of anything I may have missed. Let's see. No, I think I actually got everything. Hooray! Yay! Well, I'm starting to get pretty stuffy from talking. I don't know why that is, but I always get a little stuffy when I'm getting over a cold and I do a lot more talking. So I'm gonna call it a day. I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's hopefully gonna be a pretty one. We had a lot of rain this week, and so I'm really hoping that we have a nice weekend. And I hope you do too. And I hope you had a nice start to September. I unfortunately was down sick for the beginning of September. I'm still getting over it. But I think I'm over the worst of it. So it can only get better from here. I hope you have a great day. I hope you got some stitching done. And if you're working on any of these sals, I hope I get to see them. And have a wonderful weekend. Have a great day. Make life a little more beautiful every day, one stitch at a time. And I'll see you next time. Bye.